Can I survive 1 week in The Last of Us Project Zomboid? With a low zombie population, but insanely tough enemies, including sprinters, clickers, stalkers, and even bloaters. All inspired by the nearly 12-year-old classic The Last of Us. If you've played it before, you'll 100% love this mod. No, at least link in description. If you've never played The Last of Us, which is insane, here's a quick rundown of the infected types I mentioned earlier. Runners. Most recently infected humans, so common to come by. Tend to be in larger groups. Normal strength / toughness, meaning they are the most fragile of them all. So that can already tell you that we're can be deadly in large numbers. Moving on. Stalkers. Evolved runners, meaning they are more uncommon. Will hide in buildings. Can also sprint. Stronger than runners, obviously. Moving on. Clickers. Evolved stalkers, meaning they are even more rare. Compared to humans, they have an insane amount of strength / toughness. They are blind, but they have pinpoint hearing, so sound is very crucial in this run. Move slowly, but will rush you when they detect sound. Cannot be pushed with hands. That's insanely important later on in the video, which will cause my downfall. Or not. We will see. And the last... like the last of bloaters. Massive evolution from clickers. Seen as legends because of how rare they are. Will hide in buildings. They're very slow and big, but they have an abnormal amount of HP, so they're practically invincible with melee. If you're throwing hands, you're dead. By the way, thanks to CYCU1 for the Last of Us Part 1 models. Make sure to check him out. Now that you have the basic rundown of this challenge, let's identify the protagonist of our story. Meet Bronny Keys, a carpenter with 80 kilograms and a receding hairline. Even though he's living in a harsh world, Bronny isn't an ordinary Joe. He has some very OP traits, but downsides as well. Here are his negative traits, so let's start with the bad news first. He's deprived, which means he has nothing to his name, not even fucking clothes. High thirst explains itself, as well as slow healer, conspicuous, smoker, explainable, as well as weaker stomach, more likely to have food poisoning, and slow reader. And here are his positives. Speed demon, cat's eyes, which means he can see better at night, generator knowledge, outdoorsman, wakeful, nutritionist, enhanced conditioning, handy, and wildsman. Now that's a ton of traits, and that's a very OP character, but it will make sense later on in the video. Here are his starting skills as well. Will I be able to survive 1 week in this hellhole? Let's go and find out. Spawning on January 1st, the day after New Year's, 1993. Bronny wakes up on a cold snowy morning at 7 AM. Inside my house, I throw on an Adidas shirt and start looting the rest of the place. I take a quick peek in the car's trunk in front of the house and find a water bottle. This is a solid find since the water has been shut off for a while and I will need to store it to somehow stay hydrated. In the car I also pick up a wrench, which I will use as a temporary weapon. Then I head to the neighboring house through the window. Inside I find a can opener, along with some gloves and even a winter jacket. I tear up some rags in case I get injured and move on. In the house next door I come across something to eat and a pair of tweezers. Upstairs I score a padded jacket, ski mask and a scarf. You can tell by my reaction I was pretty satisfied with the haul. The bathroom to the left had a watch, which helps a lot with keeping track of time. I grabbed some items from the drawer by the bed and head into the garage, only to get jump scared by a clicker. That's one way to meet the first zombie of the run. I managed to kill it, but it took some effort. Crossing the street I get attacked by a runner who had a pair of shoes and a first aid kit. Great for storing supplies, until I find a duffel bag or something even better. Finally, I go into another house, find some food in the kitchen and of course eat it. Upstairs I come across a hiking backpack, a bat and even a fanny pack. This is some monumental loot. In the past runs, I'd have to wait days just to get a decent weapon, so this was a relief. I put on some camo face paint and shaved my head. After checking every room just to be sure, I finally went to bed. Waking up at 5:20 AM, I headed to a nearby garage where I found a gas canister and a bunch of canned food. Outside I could hear a runner, so I quickly ate and went to check where it was. Peeking through the window, I got jump scared again, but eventually took the runner down. Inside the house, all I found was toilet paper. Heading left from the house I was just at, I entered another garage and found 2 generators, a first for me in Project Zomboid. Zomboid. Outside I heard another runner. A clicker jumped out and charged me. After about 10 hits I killed it, only to get attacked again by another runner. While looting the kitchen, I got attacked for the third time. After grabbing some food and drinking, I went upstairs. I found a runner breaking down a door, and behind it was a belt. I was fiending for some cigarettes, but I didn't have any, so I distracted myself by reading a word search magazine. Outside, I spotted, again, a runner, but almost got killed from behind. The street below me had a house full of zombies, and since it was getting late, I just grabbed some food and got out quickly as possible. Back at the house I was in earlier, I cleaned up the bodies I'd left behind. Out of nowhere, a helicopter crashed. Later on I tried to search for it, but I couldn't find anything, unfortunately. I took some antidepressants since the withdrawal from not smoking was hitting hard, then went to sleep. At 5:10 AM, I left the house and headed down the street. In a car I found a lighter and some nails. This game was seriously teasing me with the cigarettes. I completely missed another generator on my right. I honestly didn't know if it was just dumb luck or I made it so they spawn easily. I honestly don't know. A car further up had a gun case with some sort of 1911 variant. The magazine didn't work for some reason, so I just left it, and I didn't even bother trying to come back. Another car had a key, a karambit, and finally, a pack of cigarettes. Bronny was tweaking for that. The house across from the car I just looked had another Fennec pack, but before that I got jumped scared again out of nowhere. Also found a saw in there. In the kitchen I refilled my water and grabbed a can of tuna. I heard something in front of the house, but then got jumped from behind by a runner. Again! In a nearby house I heard a house alarm go off in the distance and something being smashed. I grabbed food from the kitchen and saw a zombie trying to get through the window across the street. I ate a snack while heading upstairs. In one of the bathrooms I killed another runner and tossed it out the window. I threw up a temporary barricade in front of the room door and went to sleep. At 7:40 AM I moved the chair and checked the closet and found a pair of military boots. I grabbed some bandages from the bathroom and noticed the runner from the night before who was still destroying the garage door. After killing him and another nearby, I checked out the garage they were destroying. They were punching, banging, found 2 axes and a screwdriver. Solid loot. Now I could actually start boarding up windows and doing real carpentry work. I headed back up the street to find the best spot for a temporary base. I marked the location with the generators. In a nearby house, I heard a ton of noise and got attacked by 2 runners. After dealing with them, I hit the kitchen for food. Opening the laundry room, I spotted another runner. Upstairs, I heard a clicker, and of course, I killed that one too. Other than some medicine, the loot wasn't that great. Once again, I went down the same street and heard banging. I tried to leave, but still got ambushed by a runner. As it started getting dark, I found my spawn house again from before. That's when I realized it would make a perfect base, since the door was still kind of intact. Inside, I heard noises and in total darkness got attacked by a clicker. After killing it, I leveled up and heard more knocking from a small room. I opened the door and finished off another zombie. I dragged it outside and found some ammo in the bedroom. It was getting late, so I had dinner, had a cig, and then called it a night. At 5:20 AM, I started sorting items in the base. I went to the house just up from mine, grabbed some food and ate it. I saw a plane flying overhead and decided to stay at the house for a bit. When I went into my backyard, I heard banging from inside the shed near my place. I killed it, dragged the body out and brought over the generator I found the day before in the garage. I wired it up and siphoned gas from the van in front of my base. Turning it on was surreal. I hadn't seen lights in forever. After eating dinner, I placed the full gas canister on the floor and went to sleep. I woke up at 4:30 AM and busted some move. Took my axe outside and decided to chop down some trees. Trees? But first I had to deal with 3 runners drawn by the noise of the generator. One of them was a cop. He was carrying a SPAS 12 shotgun on him. That was incredible. I was seriously hyped. After breakfast, I finally went to cut those trees down I was supposed to like 4 hours ago. I sawed the logs, grabbed some nails and started barricading windows. I went back up to the house from yesterday to refill my water. Later I had a smoke break out back, cleaned out the cupboard and fridge and went to sleep. At 8:20 AM, I woke up and turned off the generator since I planned to explore some nearby streets. I crossed out the houses I'd already looted on the map. Inside 2 garages I found a garden saw and 2 gas canisters. In a kitchen next to one of them I found an industrial flashlight. I may or may not have downed a whole wine bottle and got tired by 3 PM, but that's besides the point. Looting another kitchen I picked up some food and another saw. I grabbed a farming magazine and had some dinner and continued crossing out houses. Heading further down the street to check out some banging noises, I equipped the flashlight and checked the living room of a house. saw a runner smashing the front door. I was already tired, but I wanted to loot just one more house. That was a very bad idea. I spotted 3 runners who all rushed me. I killed them through the window, but the last one got out of the house. And then a clicker followed, turned into a brutal duo. Clickers can't be pushed back, as I mentioned before. I came really close to dying. It took a whole in-game hour to kill it, just because I was so damn tired. After that, I went straight to sleep. So yeah, that's basically the entire week in The Last of Us. Honestly, it wasn't even that bad. I almost died like 9 times, but hey, we're still alive. Why don't we just extend the challenge, make it 2 weeks, right?